Hey, welcome back to TC's Poolology channel. I'm TC Natale, and I'm going to be bringing you tips and tricks from the game of pool or billiards, from beginner to pro level tips. If you're new to the channel, pocket that like, bank that subscribe button. Alright guys, we're here again with Darius Hall. He is my co-host for this show. Today we're going to be talking about just rules and
sorry about the interruption. You know, we got to make it real, like a reality show. All right.
So yeah, today we're just going to be talking about rules and how our views are versus actual rules, and the best rules versus the worst rules.
Some of the things we like, some of the things we dislike about the game: 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball.
And so I've played multiple leagues. I've played APA, I've played TAP, I've played Napa, I've played BCA, and they all have different rules. So you gotta, first of all, you gotta make sure when you're playing somebody that you know which rules you're going by. You don't want to just jump into a match and say, and after the fact that you shoot something and say, well, they say that their rule is different than your rule. So you want to kind of clarify what rules you're going by, or if you're just kind of playing bar rules or something like that.
Right. You don't want to gamble against somebody and then they just hit a ball and it goes in the pocket and they didn't call it, and then they expect to keep continuing to shoot. We had somebody pull up. We thought it was undercover. You know, we just sitting outside of a pool.
But so yeah, playing with somebody who plays by bar rules is a lot different than just playing regular 8-ball that you would think APA or TAP or a league kind of play, because they want you to call off the wall, off the caroms, all that. They want you to call every little detail. Yeah. And if you don't, that's their turn, and vice versa.
So let me break it down. So you got barroom pool. Barroom pool, you're gonna be you're gonna break from the kitchen, of course, like in any pool setting. And when you scratch, the cue ball goes in the kitchen.
Yep.
And that is the head string, behind the head string.
Behind the second diamond.
Right.
From where the cue ball comes.
You got to call your shots. I mean, if you kick a ball in, you got to call it. It's not called pocket, basically. You got to call everything. You can't hit the 8-ball off of anything when you're on the 8-ball. For example, if it's 8 in the corner, you can't shoot it. Then the 8-ball touches your opponent's 6-ball and it goes in that pocket. You got to call that. Matter of fact, some barroom pool rules, you can't. The 8-ball has to go in clean.
Yep. So
it really just depends. So that's something that you always want to clarify.
And if you're wanting to try to gamble somebody that plays barroom, just play them a few games first to kind of see how they play, and then start your gambling, or just set everything up beforehand.
Now, don't forget, we're talking about like gamble and proctor, like, you know, using Monopoly money. Okay, we're not talking about using U.S. Treasury real money, you know, the paper money. All right, that's just a disclaimer. Anything else? You got a favorite set of rules you like? Like, you like using the APA rules the most, don't you?
No. I dislike APA rules.
That was a joke.
Yeah. Slop shots count in APA, and nobody likes that. If you don't call a shot, then why you still shooting?
Now, don't get us wrong. You know, APA is a great league to be in, and great place to start off if you're an amateur.
That's where the money's at.
You can, I mean, even People that are really, really good are in APA. So
Every skill level.
The better you get, the higher standard of pool you
want to
have,
play,
and the more respect you have for the game. So eventually you want to play more so along the lines of BCA type rules, kind of like a version of BCA, not just straight BCA, because you don't want to play against somebody that shoots like Efren and just messes around with you and just hooks you 3 times in a row and you lose the game.
Yeah. So. And see, in BCA there's that 3 foul rule, which
sometimes it's put in effect, sometimes it's not.
It's very hard to 3 foul rule somebody who's really good or even remotely good. If they can hit the ball, it's not a foul. So as long as they hit the ball, hit a rail. And it's pretty hard to hook somebody 3 times in a row, honestly. So if you do that and they can't hit the ball, I mean, it's a pretty good strategy, honestly, but it's not finishing the game, really. Yeah, BCA has a 3 foul rule. Not any other league actually has a 3 foul rule in 9-ball. Or, I don't know, is it an 8-ball too? Is it a 3 foul rule in 8-ball?
I don't know. That's a good question.
See?
Probably so. No, I don't know. I don't want the viewers waiting on us.
But
I know in 9-ball, it's just if it's in effect. Sometimes, a lot of times it's not in effect. Sometimes it is.
It was in Hot Springs.
Yeah.
But one rule I like is in Napa, you can actually scratch on the 8. As long as you don't make the 8, the game is not over. So I do kind of like that, because if they've got 7 balls on the table and they didn't touch the table, it works out to your advantage. But and that allows you to try to kick in a ball, kick in the 8 ball, or do something that test your ability. And if you just happen to get a bad roll off a ball, it doesn't cost you the game. So.
Okay, so could you explain that a little further? So let's say I call 8 ball in the corner. I miss the 8 ball, but the cue ball goes 2 rails and then goes in the side. So is that game or not?
That's not game.
Okay, so then you as the opponent, what do you do with the cue ball?
Ball in hand, foul.
Okay.
It's just a regular foul.
I don't like that.
But
I think that you should, if you scratch on the 8, you lose. But I get where he's coming from. I don't like that.
I feel like it gives you a chance to either jump the ball or something that you may not be comfortable with. And if they still got 7 balls on the table, you can still try to win the game instead of actually having to play safe. Just because you can't make a clean, perfect hit on the 8. It just gives you a chance to jump or kick or.
So if you got ball in hand, like, why would you need to do that?
Well, you don't have ball in hand. You run down to the 8 and you get hooked. You can kick it in, or if you miss it, you scratch.
You're saying you could take more of a risk because you might scratch.
Yeah,
that's another reason why I don't like. I don't like that. But everybody has their preference to what rules they like.
But it still counts if you make the 8 ball and scratch, it's still a loss. You can't bring the 8 back. But I just like the fact that if it doesn't go in and they still got all these balls on the table, they still have to play their game to beat you. And they don't just win off of the technicality. Even though the 8's still on the table, they don't win.
Right.
And that's a Napa rule, which I like.
Okay. So let's talk about the typical ball in hand rules that most people have an understanding of.
Okay.
When they go ahead and just start playing, they're like, ball in hand. We're like, the only couple of things that you sometimes have to clarify is like making sure they know, like, ball has to touch the rail.
Yeah. That's most of the time ball in hand rules. It's ball hits the rail, stuff like that.
Right.
Ballroom rules, you do not have to hit a rail. You don't even have to hit the object ball. So that's why I really don't like ballroom rules.
No.
It's really annoying because you can just push the cue ball into the center of the table or to the opposite end of the rail or scratch, and then it has to go behind the head string. So there's a little bit of strategy to the scratching part, but most of the time it's just not worth playing, honestly, if you're a good player.
So let's talk about the basic rules of 8-ball. So there's 15 balls. You got how many solids is that?
Seven solids, 7 stripes, and an 8-ball.
And an 8-ball.
Well, I guess 8 solids.
Yeah, 8 solids and 7 stripes.
Yep.
Yeah, that equals 15. And if you take the 1 ball, it's a yellow ball, and you add 8 to it, then it equals 9. And then that ball is yellow as well. If you take the 2 ball and add 8 to it, that equals 10. And the 2 ball is blue, the 10 ball is blue. You know, most pool players don't know that.
Yep.
So, you know, the 3 ball, 3 plus 8 is 11. The 3 and 8 is red.
Yep.
You know, same for the 4 ball. 4 and 12 is 8. So, anyways, you want to put the 1 ball in the front of the diamond.
Front of the rack. Yep.
Rack. And then you put the cue ball behind the head string, which says the second diamond. You put it anywhere. When you see people put it near the side and 8-ball, they're trying to hit the second ball next to the 1 ball in hopes of putting the 8-ball in the side pocket on the break.
Yeah. And I've studied a lot of different tables on where the spot is on the table. So if there's a table with no spot out there, the 1 ball tends to sit a little bit above the second diamond whenever you rack on the spot. And that's just what I've studied. I'm not sure if it's 100% accurate, but on 90% of the tables I've seen, the 1 ball sits approximately 1 centimeter above the diamond. So if you were to put your cue or whatever, a level on to each diamond, the 1 ball is actually going to sit a little bit above halfway. And that is where most of the spots are that I've seen. So I don't know if y'all have any comments on that, let us know. Because we actually have a few tables here that don't have spots or marks or anything like that. So just let us know in the comments what y'all think.
Okay. After you hit the 1 ball or the second ball, that's called the break. At least 4 balls have to touch a rail. If not, that's a...
And 9 ball is 3.
Break.
3 balls have to touch a rail.
In 9 ball, you have to hit the head ball.
Yeah, you have to hit the 1
like
in
the
9
1 ball. In 8 ball, you don't have to hit the head ball. You can hit the second ball.
Yep.
There has to be at least a solid and a stripe on the corner in an 8-ball rack with the 8-ball in the middle. And then the object of the game is for you to choose a color, either solids or stripes, and then shoot either all the solids in, if that's what you chose, or shoot all the stripes in.
Doesn't have to be in order.
And then the winner has to hit the 8-ball in. Now, as far as how you choose, you can't just be like, I want solids. When you break, if a solid or stripe goes in, the table is still open. This is ball and hand rules. The table is still open.
Not an APA. Gotta clarify, because APA, it's take what you make, even though it is ball and hand.
Right. So right now, what we're talking about is like ball and hand, more so BCA type
or
BCA
tap.
Modified.
Yeah.
And then we can show the contrast between like barroom pool. So barroom pool, most of the time, is take what you make. Like so, if I break, ball is flying everywhere, and the 3-ball goes in the side. You like the sound effects, right? 3-ball goes in the side. I have solids, unless I scratch, which is the cue ball going in the pocket as well. If I scratch and make a ball, the table is still open, no matter what, barroom or ball in hand. And remember, we're talking about ball in hand modified, like BCA type. So after you break and ball in hand, the table is open no matter what ball you make. You can make all 6 of the solids, and then there's 1 solid left, and then it's hooked behind the 8, and all the rest of the stripes are sitting out there looking pretty, where you know you can run out, and then you can go ahead and shoot a stripe if you wanted to. And
an APA or a ballroom, that you would be taking solids if you made all the solids and no stripes.
Right.
Which actually happened to my stepdad in nationals one time. He made 5 stripes on the break.
Wow.
Was hooked behind all the solids, and this was APA, so he had to take the stripes.
Wow.
And he ended up playing defense the whole game and still won.
Wow.
Beat a 6-speed.
Wow. It's impressive.
It was a good match, and I have it on video, but I lost the camera. So.
So what I was getting at, so after you break, no matter what goes in, table's open until the next shot. So, and the next shot, you have to call the shot. Now, most of the time, if you're playing players that's good out of, it's kind of like an unwritten rule. You know what pocket the person is calling just by the way they're queuing up, or where the cue ball is, and where in relation to the ball that they're shooting at. Yep. So if the 3 ball is sitting right in front of the corner, and then they cue up shooting at the 3 ball, you assume that that's what they're calling.
Yep.
And then once they hit that in, then both of you are assuming that person has solids. Now, if you play barroom pool, or if you're good or if you play somebody that you never played before, and some people, they might want you to call it, so you might want to address that before the game, and just say something like, call your shots. You don't gotta say no, you don't gotta call it if it's obvious.
Yeah, obvious straight ends, or
right. But if you're gonna be kicking at a ball, most of the time we're gonna call it.
Foul pocket, yeah.
But remember, that's gonna be like barroom type pools. Ball in hand is just called pocket, so it doesn't matter if you kick a ball, as long as the ball goes, as long as you hit your object ball first, and that ball goes in the pocket that you intended, then it's a legal shot. Another thing, once you hit your object ball, so okay, a break, 3 ball goes in, 11 ball goes in, table's still open, I don't have solids or stripe.
Yep.
And then I go ahead and shoot the 14 ball, which is a stripe. So now I have stripes. But let's say
you scratch, then you don't have stripes.
Yeah, if I scratch, then my opponent, we'll just say TC's my opponent. Now
it's open again.
The table's open, and he has ball in hand. And he can put the ball anywhere on the table and use any combination of balls to make a ball in a pocket, as long as the ball that goes in the pocket is called.
Yep.
So, for example, he can put the cue ball behind the 5 ball, which is a solid, and the 14 ball
is a stripe.
And it's sitting in the corner, and he hits the 5 into the 14, but his call is 14 in the corner. Then he now has stripes.
Yep.
So,
and that's illegal. That's a legal hit.
Right. And the only time you can do that is when the table is open.
Yep.
Once he's established what set of ball he has for the rest of the game, he has to hit those set of balls first in order for it to be a legal shot. And in addition to that, a ball has to touch the rail, or go in,
or be pocketed.
Or be pocketed after he hits his object ball for it to be a legal shot. So if he taps the 10 ball and that 10 ball rolls and it doesn't go in the pocket, or it doesn't roll far enough to touch a rail, or his cue ball doesn't touch a rail, or any other ball that gets bumped doesn't touch a rail, then it's ball in hand.
It's a foul.
Yeah. All fouls equal ball in hand. So,
and if you throw, even say you make a legal hit and the ball comes off the table, whether it be the cue ball or the ball you're shooting at or another ball, it's always ball in hand foul. So that's just another rule of thumb. Even if you made the contact with your ball and the rail, if anything comes off the table, most leagues it's ball in hand foul to the opponent.
Right. So kind of trying to cover just the main rules.
And I don't think we covered this, but when you break and you scratch, it's behind the head string. So
yes,
I don't think we
that was the
that.
other thing that I was thinking about that I forget.
Yeah. So if you break, it's behind the head string, which is behind the second diamond. Not ball in hand, but you can still shoot any ball past that head string. So you can't ever shoot back towards where you're breaking from. And you can still pocket, a solid, or you can still combo a solid and a stripe, and all the rules still apply, even though it's behind the line. But
yep. Another thing, the 8-ball. I think I gotta double check, but you can't use the 8-ball when the table is open.
yes, you cannot use the 8-ball to pocket another colored ball.
Right.
As you could with a solid and a stripe. You cannot use the 8-ball is neutral, so you cannot be hit.
Right. But you can use the 8-ball in a combination shot, like a 3-way combination shot.
Yeah, it just can't be hit first.
Yeah.
Is all we're saying.
Right.
So let's talk about 10-ball rules.
Okay.
10-ball rules are way different than 9-ball rules. You can.
Well, let's go to 9, then 10. So that way we got that order. We got 8-ball, 9-ball, 10.
Okay. 9-ball. You break. You run in order. You got to hit the head ball first. You run them in order. 1 through 9. If you combo the 9 in early, that's a win. If you snap the 9 on the break, that's a win. And in some leagues, you cannot use the bottom 2 racking corners to snap the 9, or it just spots back up. And in some tournaments, some leagues, some whatever you're playing, where they say not in the bottom 2, that the 9 will not count as a win there. But yeah, you got to run 1 through 9. If you say you hit the 3-ball and you're on the 3-ball and it's just straight in with the 9, all you gotta do is hit the 3-ball and the 9 goes in. That would be a win. You got anything else on that?
Off the break, sometimes I forget what the name of the rule is, but 3 balls have to cross the head string. Also, and that's basically to prevent somebody doing a soft break. Let's say they got the table figured out, and they know, like, well, if I hit it this soft at this location, the 6-ball is going to go in the corner pocket every single time, or this ball in this position is going to go in this corner every single time. So you got to hit it hard. Now, if you hit it and 2 balls go past the head string, and the head string is where you break from, and a ball is pocketed as well, that counts as a ball crossing the head string. That's in other words. So let's say you break, 2 balls go in, 1 ball go past the head string, then it's still legal break, and
3 balls have to hit a rail. So
right. So sometimes that's put into play. Sometimes
most of the time,
most of the time it is, but just the average person watching doesn't really pay attention to that. But in 9-ball, if you watch like pros, when they break, they just about 99% of the time
shatter the rack.
Right, and you have balls going from one end of the table to the other end of the table where balls been pocketed and all that kind of stuff. That's just a rule, just to know. Rule
of thumb, yeah.
Yeah.
Something to put in the knowledge bank.
But if you're an amateur and you're playing somebody, they're probably not going to know that rule. So.
10-ball. Let's talk about 10-ball.
All right.
So 10 balls, same setup. You break, you run 1 through 10. You have to, except for everything now, a 9 ball you could actually just slop any ball in. But in 10 ball, you have to call shot just like 8 ball. So yeah, you got to call ball, call pocket. If you shoot a ball and it slops in, it's the other person's decision whether he wants to take the shot or give it back to you.
So we call that options.
Yeah, and that's kind of, I like the rule, and then again, it's kind of, I don't really like it because it doesn't, make it all that great. But
I like that rule.
You like that rule?
Yeah, because I think if you slop it in and then you could also change the layout of the table where it puts your opponent at a disadvantage when he may have had a clear advantage over you with the layout of
well, I mean, in 8 ball though, that's just how it's played. If they accidentally pocket a ball, it's just their turn.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the reasons I kind of don't like the rule. But there's less balls, so it makes sense in a way, because you only have 1 ball to shoot at versus 7 and 8 ball.
I like the rule because it kind of makes it, that's one of the things that makes it different from 9 ball.
What happens if you say you make the object ball that you called in the pocket, but another ball falls in?
Then it's still your turn.
It's still your shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was making sure of. So if you slop a ball in, but you do make the intended ball you called, it is not the option to the other player. It is still your shot.
But you have to make the intended ball.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to hit the intended ball first.
Yeah.
You gotta hit it first.
Yeah, you always have to hit your object ball that you're going for first, whether it be 1 through 10. So, if you combo the 10 and call it, you win. Or if you just run down to the 10 and make it and call it, you win. So,
yeah.
But you can't slop anything in. Can't slop the 10. Can't slop the 3, and nothing can be slopped in.
Yeah.
Is there any other rules on 10 ball that we might not be thinking of?
No, just main thing, call the 10. You can't hit the second ball. You have to hit the
headstring ball.
Or
the first ball.
The first
Number
ball.
1. Number 1 rule, hit the first ball.
Right. 8 ball, you can hit the second ball. Now, out of the 3, which game do you see getting played the most for money? That's 9 ball, because it's 9 balls, so it takes less time.
It's faster games.
A lot of pros are starting to play 10 ball though, because it takes the element of slop out.
Yep.
Or it
some
penalizes people for slop.
Or some local players I've seen, they'll take a 9 ball rack and they'll play 10 ball rules because just 1 less ball.
Right. I personally like 8 ball equal to 9 ball. I think 8 ball is like, well, I'll say I like 8 ball better, but I like 9 ball a lot because you can get your stroke out and you can do pretty stuff with the cue ball and make it dance and all that kind of stuff.
There's just not a lot in the way.
Right, and your focus is just on getting
shape for
shape
1 ball.
For
one
for the
ball,
next ball,
or I mean not the 1 ball, but the next ball.
And 8 ball, see, to me, 9 balls like checkers and 8 balls like chess.
I hear that a lot.
8 ball, you gotta navigate through 15 balls just to get to 1. So it takes more skill, in my opinion. Yeah, it takes
and then
more
in a
skill.
way it don't, because there's so many balls to shoot at that you can kind of, but it takes it,
because like the Filipinos, they play rotation, and that's harder than 9 ball, and rotation is just like 9 ball, but it has 15 balls
rotation.
So most of them say when they come over here, 9 ball is easier for them to play because it's less balls.
Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. Like, I think 8 ball is tougher than 9 ball but most people will play 9-ball as far as like pro tournaments more than 8-ball because it's just because of time.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't take as long. But 8-ball, you got to call your shot. So, you know, I want to learn how to play one pocket.
That's what I was about to get into. Was one pocket.
I would love to learn how to play one pocket.
One pocket is basically a different version of 8-ball, where you have to make your intended balls, or as many balls as you can, into your specific corner. So if you break from the right side, your corner is the left side, and vice versa. And the opponent's ball is the other corner. We're talking about the racking corners. Well, I mean, you know any or breaks or anything like that for one pocket?
I know most one pocket players use a soft break.
Very soft break.
You can also use. I don't know all the one pocket rules. I know that you can hit some balls and like up to 8 balls or something like that. No, it can't be 8. Yeah. Like 4 balls in other pockets other than the corner that you choose.
See, we don't play a lot of one pocket because it's just not big here. But we could get a video on that where we figure out the rules and come back and talk about it. Or if you got something you want to put in the comments, just put it down there. Thanks for being a part of this show, man.
All right,
Appreciate
no problem.
We will get another one going soon.
All right, no problem. Take it easy. Don't forget to subscribe.
Like and subscribe.